race number 1 here at Circuit of the Americas, and it's a drag race down into turn number 1. Side by side, Agostini has it, but he goes wide. Oh, and Ellis gets tagged by Mars. Everyone scrambles. Adelson goes around too. It's George Kurtz off into the kitty litter. Looks like Agostini was able to recover. He leads the field at least for the moment, despite running long in turn 1.
Yeah, elbows right there early up into the brake zone, and we've got problems there for Luca Mars. Cut down the right front, it looks like, and just chaos ensued behind. Agostini got in there super deep. You're hitting a big bump there. He missed the apex, went straight through. Looked like Ellis was going to grab the lead, then he got tagged.
Right front damage for Luca Mars in this Racer's Edge team. The car he shares with former IndyCar driver Zach Veach. That will drop them to the back of the pack, and Luca will have to limp that car nearly 4 miles around this mammoth facility here at Circuit of the Americas. In the meantime, the race continues. And it looked like that was Alec Udell in the wars, going side by side. We also see Elias Sabo fighting with Adam Adelson, who's on the recovery drive. But out back, languishing with that right front damage, that's where you find Luca Mars.
Yeah, I'm not sure if the tire's actually cut down or whether the bodywork is just getting into it when he turns the wheel and causing that rub. So Agostini, I'm sure he can't believe that he's actually still got the lead of this race after overshooting turn 1. They were trying to outbrave each other. Ellis had already told Amanda that he wanted the lead early. I think Agostini was equally up for the charge as well, and they both got in really deep there into turn 1.
That puts Ellis on the back foot. This is absolutely not what they needed for that strategy, like you talked about there, Calvin. He's already picked his way back through a couple of cars towards the back of the field, but he's got a long, long way to go. Lap 1 in the books, and it's Riccardo Agostini showing the way, but then it's the pair of ST Racing BMWs running second and third. What we're looking at here is the battle for the 4th spot up the inside, just out the windshield. That is the Corvette of Alec Udell, able to make the pass on Will Hardiman. Looking to follow him through is the newcomer, Jake Peterson, making just his second GT3 start at this level. Couldn't quite make the pass on the hometown team driver, Will Hardiman. Oh, a few hundred miles north of here at Indianapolis, looking after Roman Grosjean, who's trying to qualify for the Indianapolis 500. In the meantime, how about this move from Ross West? He's making some great ground up in the early going. Just made the pass of Kyle Washington, so put that silver Mercedes up a spot, but Washington is looking to fight back down the backstretch. And in the meantime, we look here at the right front of Racer's Edge Motorsports. They're looking at the damage side by side here through the S's, West and Washington. They've swapped this spot a couple of times. This is the fight for 7th overall, and it's just off the podium within the class. Just in their rearview mirror, here comes the hard-charging Philip Ellis, who is on his horse at the moment, making his way back up through the field. He's been able to clear a couple more cars on this lap, and he finds himself in the 9th spot. But this is really bad news for them. As you can see, drive-through penalty, incident responsibility, and immediately Philip Ellis makes the call to the pit lane to serve that penalty. Under some pressure here, though, from Adam Adelson, who comes through but goes wide. Then Washington comes down across the nose of George Kurtz, who has to back out of it. There might be the faintest of contact between the two, but it looks like they escaped any damage, and after all that, they run in the same order they were going into turn 1.
It's such a wild approach to that corner, so wide, so many varieties of line, and you all kind of blend right across the apex, and you just have to miss each other, but that was really, really close to another problem. Make it a foot or two if you make a little mistake, not 8-10 feet.
Here we go
Allison
again.
pushes down up to the inside, makes a nice clean pass into turn 1.
That was much more tame. General Motors factory driver and the driver tab to help develop this car. The first ever official factory GT3 offering from General Motors, available to customers. As he looks to the inside, here comes Alec Udell. Bill Oberlin sees him coming, gives him a wide berth, and they stay side by side through 19. Now the braking zone for turn number 20. This will get tight at apex. They give each other just enough room. Oberlin out wide and over those bumps. This could open the door for Samantha Tan to make it 3 wide. We shall see. Oberlin on the left-hand side of the screen. Udell to the right in the run up to turn number 1.
Yeah, BMW may have just a little bit more straightaway speed, but Alec just holds that track position nice and tidy. Really nice racecraft there by Alec Udell, and great racing with Bill Oberlin as well. Looking forward to the race this afternoon. He didn't qualify well in GT America. Now he looks to the inside on Justin Rothberg, side by side through the apex. Justin has a give it up. George clears him before they get off the exit of the corner.
Outstanding stuff. George kept that momentum up, was able to get to the inside, and by the point they got to the apex, it was a fait accompli. That said, Rothberg's got that BMW in-power, working to the outside, and Kurtz goes deep. Rothberg back to the inside, and following him through is Scott Smithson. Kurtz up the inside of Smithson. He has the position for the moment, but Scott's able to cross him back over, and that leads to a drag race down this back straightaway. Looks like Ellis made the pass on Sabo behind, but we've got GM Corvette power up against Mercedes AMG on this nearly kilometer-long run down into the hairpin.
This is some great stuff right here. Smithson is really feeling confident in this Corvette. Had a great run going at Sebring. Made a little critical error going through turn 5 and lost what would have been a podium run. But here comes Kurtz back to the inside. This racetrack, multiple approaches to these corners, just makes for some great racing. Watch
like
Kurtz here,
Kurtz.
big move there, big run through that triple apexer. That Corvette is really strong through that sector as well. Kurtz putting the pressure on here, looks to the inside. Rothberg takes it in deep, shallow angle of approach. He'll run out wide there.
Kurtz read that beautifully. He saw that setting up and gets to the inside. Looks like Smithson's got a bit of momentum there too in the Corvette. Again, this is all for class position, but that image right there, that tells you where that BMW is strong, and that's in a straight line down the pit straight where he was able to gap the 04 Mercedes.
Yeah, he's just so poised. I love how Justin's handling this pressure right now. Kurtz to the inside there. That's going to be tight. If you have a touch right there, someone is going for a ride. Fighting it out down through the S's. Kurtz takes the position.
Your overall leader by 16 seconds, Riccardo Agostini, two-time Italian GT Sprint champion, single-time Italian GT Endurance champion. 2021, he actually won both of those titles.
Finally, Agostini hits pit lane.
There wasn't enough time to go around once again, so it's a pretty easy call. They'll go side by side here.
Watch Ski here dive down to the inside. You could see that one setting up, and now Choxy returns the favor.
That was outstanding. That's what this stadium section lends itself to, crossing over, trading positions multiple times over the span of just a couple of corners. Considerable experience over the last few years at the GT3 level. He looks to the inside again. Choxy sees him coming. They go door to door at the exit of the hairpin, and they'll stay door to door.
Choxy just clears him. That BMW is shown to have a little bit more straightaway speed, inching over there. Then he has to give it up, so he's probably going to have to maintain that drag position on the right-hand side of the racetrack. Ski's going to hold tough here down the middle of the road.
This is the run into the downhill braking zone for turn 12. Skier's got it, and Choxy punts him just that little bit. That dislodges the diffuser just that much more, but Skier was able to withstand the challenge. He got that second spot. With 35 minutes to go, battle for the overall lead starting to brew. Toledo's got it for now, but the hard-charging Tommy Milner is closing in.
Yeah, I think the way this is going to shape up, Milner should clear Toledo in the next lap or two. Then Verhagen will do the same thing, I believe. And then it's really going to be about how much does Verhagen want that overall win here today? Does he go after Tommy Milner to get the overall win? Admittedly, both of those drivers in separate classes.
That becomes the interesting calculus, doesn't it? How much does the overall win mean? Here is the overall lead changing hands as Milner gets to the inside of Toledo. And Milner makes quick work of the Brazilian and takes the top spot away with 34 minutes to go. Look at the damage at the back of the 120. This is big because that could lead potentially to the meatball flag and a mandatory trip to the pit lane.
Yeah, and they're the leaders in the pro class coming into this weekend, have a 20-point lead over the 28 machine. So this is huge if they do get the black flag and have to bring that car in.
But it stays affixed, at least for the moment, to that Porsche 911 GT3R of Elliott Skier, who runs second in the pro class.
There it goes.
And there it goes.
It's on the racetrack. I'm not sure it cleared the complete racetrack there. It's just off to the right-hand side, I believe. That would throw the cat amongst the pigeons if we have to go full course yellow.
Sure would.
It's so frustrating when you're a driver, you're out there fighting tooth and nail for hundreds and tenths of a second, and then when it goes wrong on the pit lane, whether it's, problem here, that's Jeff Burton, quick spin in the middle of the S's.
Jeff had been 7th overall Under 20 minutes to go. Race 1 of the weekend for Fanatec GT World Challenge America, powered by AWS. It's 4 cars running line astern down the long back straightaway, 1 kilometer in length. And here we go. The battle is on. Sellers feeling the pressure. Saw a little bit of body work come off one of the cars, maybe some contact. Here comes Foley. He gets to the outside of Sellers and sweeps across his bow. He's already got that position locked in.
Well, look at Sellers into the brake zone. Wow, did he take it in there deep? Foley a little bit offline. It has been resurfaced there, so you're off the rubbered in line a little bit. So it allowed Sellers to really take it in deep. But yeah, there's a big hole being punched by that 3-car train, and Foley just gobbled that up and went to the inside of Sellers, who went on the defense down that back straightaway.
Wow.
Here comes Foley, big run here. Got to get the power down off of turn 11. Colin Brown's probably going to have to go defensive here down this back straightaway. He's getting the toe, though. He's getting the draft. Now Choxy gives the indicator. I think he's going to let this battle go through.
Choxy lets them play through, but the battle continues and looks like the battle last lap, except trade the Corvette for a Mercedes. Foley to the outside of Kurtz in the Mercedes, or excuse me, Colin Brown in the Mercedes. And Colin Brown is able to keep the BMW at bay for the moment. Oh, little bumper
touch
there.
Woo, this is great racing. Sellers wishes he's a little bit closer. He'd be firing it down to the inside right now, but he lost a couple of car lengths in that exchange.
And don't sleep on Sellers either. He's still in the mix. Choxy has let him come through. He settles back in behind this pair. Brown continues to show the way in this battle pack, but this is for the... What is this for? This is for 4th, 5th, and 6th within the Pro-Am ranks. Inside of 15 minutes to go. Race leader overall and in the Pro class, Tommy Milner. Toledo and Brown now in the same camera shot. This looks inevitable now. Toledo will bend that car to the right into this triple apex right-hander. Brown continues to close in. Doesn't want to waste too much time trying to get this move made. Sets it up for the crossover, comes underneath, and he'll be in firm position to the inside into the braking zone for turn 20. That is cut and dry for Colin Brown, who's now up onto the podium. This is Aaron Povoledo off the track. And if he is beached, that could bring out the yellow flag, and then it would just, I don't think so either. Let's see what happens.
Went really deep up into the brake zone there.
He was fighting for position with Varun Choxy. That was for 9th overall. Tough way for this one to end because Ross West, I think, had his best race of the year in that opening stint in Fanatec GT at least. Tommy Milner, potentially just a couple of corners to go, down under 10 seconds left in the race. It's going to be super, super close when they get to that finish line. We wait to see, and indeed the checkered flag waves. Tommy Milner, Alec Udell, and DXDT Racing give Chevrolet the first win globally for the Corvette Z06 GT3R. ST Racing's Neil Verhagen and Samantha Tan, they get the win in the Pro-Am class. A podium once more for RS1, Trent Henman and Jake Peterson. And now reaping the rewards with not just a win, but an overall win and the first win globally for Chevrolet and their Corvette Z06 GT3R. It belongs to DXDT Racing, Tommy Milner, and Alec Udell.